Whether you realize it or not, growing your brand on Instagram alone is probably one of the biggest mistakes you can make in 2026 and going on for the next 5 years or however long you plan to do this for. And I'm saying this as someone who's helped build multiple brands on Instagram, on TikTok, and then also on YouTube. So I've developed a holistic approach on pretty much everything, right? And there's Black Bezos, there's Neural Knowledge just for some big names. And then there's a bunch of other people. Now, in this video, I basically want to go through why you shouldn't just build on IG alone, the disadvantages, but then also the advantages and what system you should be using instead. And this is a system that I noticed that all my clients at the beginning unintentionally went through. And now I intentionally put my clients through each one of these. Now, so IG. First thing you need to understand about IG is great. There's a bunch of advantages. You can get eyeballs. It feels good when you got the dopamine coming in. You're getting 10,000 views, 5,000 views. If you're hitting those numbers, you might be hitting 100,000, but if you're stuck in 200 view jail, IG is even like if IG is even tough for you, it's peak. But you can get more eyeballs, which means if you get more eyeballs, you have a higher chance of hitting your ideal client or someone that wants to work with you, right? Because if you're not visible, then there's no way people are ever going to buy your digital product or your services. So that sounds great. Why the fuck is this a problem? There's a few reasons. We have low trust. With with Instagram, there's this known rule. Or with marketing, there's this known rule, the 7-11 rule. Now, I don't necessarily believe you need 7 hours of content. The rule is you need 7 hours of content and 11 different touch points, which means if you're posting 1 minute videos, you need like 400 or something videos of someone to consume of you in order for them to trust you and want to buy your product. I don't believe that's true. But even if it was true, you're going to need 400. Even if it's half of that, you're going to need 200. And unless you've been posting consistently for like a year, you don't have that much videos. And chances are all your videos are probably not 60 seconds. Some are probably like 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 7-second reels that are just easy to produce and quick to put out there. And that's why a lot of people end up doing the yapping stuff and they just upload 3, 4 videos every single day. But the method I'm going to show you makes everything a lot easier. Anyway, that basically means you have low trust with your audience. When you get on sales calls with them, you'll probably realize that there's a lot of pushback, there's a lot of resistance, there's a lot of people that don't really understand what you do and why you do it and who you actually are. So they ask you a bunch of questions. They always hit you with, I'll have to think about it. I need to ask my wife, my husband, or whatever it may be. Then you have bans. This one is relatively new, but it's always been there. A lot of people have been getting their account banned or even restricted for no fucking reason. Well, I'll say no reason, but Meta actually fired a bunch of staff and like employed AI or deployed AI into their fucking company, which means things that usually didn't get you banned before are not getting you banned. You're having conversations with your leads and you're talking about money, banned. You're having a conversation with your leads and you're sending them links to book a call, banned. Like sending links, talking about money, all of these things, or anything that seems like spammy behavior gets you banned. Which means if your whole Instagram is on IG and you've been banned, you're cooked, your business is pretty much dead. If you've been restricted and you can't reply to your leads, what the hell are you going to do? Your leads are saying, yeah, I'm willing to pay, just give me a few days. You can't even say, yeah, okay. They're going to think that you're airing them not serious and they move on and give someone else their hard earned money. So if the only thing that you're using is Instagram, you're cooked. Again, I already mentioned there's short videos, which means it takes a lot more videos for someone to build trust with you or really to know who you are. And like in this day and age, a lot of people talk about the parasocial relationship that you can build with your audience online if you post the right content, the length of content, the amount of content, etc. And really that parasocial relationship is what makes people want to buy from you. Because really buying coaching online from someone that you've never met before, it's actually an interesting concept because I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I've paid people that I've never really met in real life couple of thousands of pounds or dollars. And I'm just like, that's risky. I don't know if this person is actually being legit, but I've paid them that because I've either been recommended to them by a friend or someone that I know, or I've just spent or felt like I've spent a lot of time with them by watching their content. I've seen, their failures, their successes, their stories, things that really make them who they are, their mistakes, how they really communicate. And I'm just like, I really like that person. And it's always like, not to sound crazy, but the people that have the weird personality twerks always get my trust a lot faster as well. That's just something I've recognized. And then you have low intent viewers. People are on Instagram just for fun, bro. Like, I load up Instagram. I don't intend to buy shit. I don't intend to even learn shit sometimes. I go on Instagram, doom scrolling. And if Instagram ain't making me laugh, I'm going over to TikTok, doom scrolling. It's only when I'm replying to messages or when I'm posting my own content. And this is when I've even started to realize going really in depth on Instagram, it can work, but people have really low intention. So even if they do stop and watch, it doesn't mean that they're going to be in the mindset of, oh, I need this guy's coaching, or I really should hit this guy up. The only time they get in that mindset is when they go onto other platforms that you're on, or they dig deeper to find out who you truly are, or how long you've been around, or just more information about you, which is when the Holy Trinity actually comes into it. You should be able to see it on the screen right now. So the Holy Trinity is a makeup of 3 platforms. It's YouTube, Instagram, and then email. And this is super important. Let's start with YouTube, right? YouTube is the go-to platform. And if you guys don't know by now, YouTube is actually doing some updates. So like the watch hours that you need to be monetized on YouTube is now turning to 8,000 hours instead of 4,000, which is doubled. So being monetized on YouTube is going to be more difficult. Not to say that YouTube monetization is going to make you a millionaire or make you rich, but you know, that could be extra money that you could help pay your team with and produce more content with is now going to be harder to attain. So, oh, I thought I was going to sneeze. So if you can, start posting now. Try hit those 4,000 hours because that takes place, I think, February, end of February. So if you can do that now, hit the 4,000 hours, you can make a little bit extra cash so you can pay your team, pay your editors, your consultant, your coach, whatever it may be. Because like really and truly, it's another stream of income. Every little helps. Now, with YouTube, you can post longer videos, and longer videos are the standard. If you're posting a 2-minute YouTube video, like vertically, everyone's gonna think, what the hell's up with this guy? But if you post a hour-long video like Nero does, or 30-minute videos, 20-minute videos, and someone sits down and watches that, they are going to know you more, they're going to trust you more, and they're going to go deeper into your funnel. So if you really want to nurture your audience, right? YouTube is exactly where you need to be. If we think about the 7-11 rule, 7 hours of content, 11 touch points, it is so much easier to get 7 hours of content on YouTube. It's easier for someone to consume that. And really, people will watch you on their TV. Like, people ain't watching Instagram on their TV. They're watching TikToks on their TV. If you are, you're like, I don't even know how you're doing that. You're just cooked. But people watch YouTube on their TV. So when they're loading up YouTube and they're looking for something to watch and they see your video and they're like, you know, I'm really struggling with this problem. Fuck it, I'm going to watch it. It's another opportunity for them to consume your content. People watch YouTube on their mobile, their iPads. YouTube is literally everywhere. YouTube is being watched more than Netflix, Disney, all of these different things. So you're actually showing up to nurture that audience more than you potentially would on Instagram or even TikTok. So YouTube is the best for nurturing. Once you've actually built it up, you can actually attract new people because you'll notice that you're starting to get more views, you're building more traction. One thing that a lot of people don't like is when you post on YouTube for the first couple of videos or you've not posted in a while, you're getting 50 views, 100 views, but people don't actually take into consideration how much those views are actually worth. Like, especially before YouTube do the update stuff. I don't know when you're watching this. Like YouTube also doing another update where as soon as someone clicks on your video, that's going to count as a view. Before it would have to kick in like 5 seconds in, you know, to see if they've actually listened to the first few sentences that you've had to say. But now anytime someone clicks on your video, it's going to be a view. Almost like if anyone clicks on your video or scrolls past your video on Instagram, that's a view, or TikTok. So people underestimate how like valuable the views are on YouTube at the moment. If someone clicks on your video, it shows that they have intent, especially if the video, like a video like this, a kid is not going to come click on this because they're thinking, I don't have this problem. This probably won't even come up on their page. This is coming up on your page if you are struggling to go on Instagram, you're concerned about growing on Instagram, or you're just confused of why it's a problem growing on Instagram. Like if you're not trying to grow your business, your brand on Instagram, you're not going to watch this video. As simple as that. And the chances are it's probably not going to pop up on your page in the first place, which goes to show the views that you're sorry, I feel a bit the views that you get on YouTube are just worth 10 times more than Instagram. But that doesn't mean Instagram doesn't have its place, right? Instagram is great for top of funnel content and even middle of funnel content. Because what's working really well on Instagram and TikTok and just social media these days is storytelling content. More now than ever because AI is coming around. You know, people can research outlier videos super quick, super easy, which means if you have a video that pops off without any story behind it, someone can just go and copy that video instantly. Before it used to take research time, people would have to look. Now AI will scour through the fucking Instagram or scour through the web and see what's an outlier and then give you that video in a fucking template. And you're like, oh, sick, cool. And these brain dead people are literally copying these videos word for word, and you're all building the same brand. So if you're creating storytelling content or content based around stories, personal things, that experiences, achievements, failures that cannot be replicated by someone else because they've happened to you, and you've got lessons attached to your niche or outside your niche, this is what's going to help you stand out on Instagram. That's also what's working really well. So you could get 100,000 views on a video because you're doing a storytelling video and people can be introduced to your world. You could do a storytelling video on one of your clients or a result that you've gotten related to your service or product, which could now be middle of the funnel because now you've taken them deeper into how you built the product or what you've achieved, and they now know who you are and what your product or service does, etc. So Instagram has its place, and Instagram's coming out with something called series. So some people already have this feature. You can basically you can create a series now anyway on Instagram. You just post it, but it's going to have its own playlist. Similar to how TikTok also has its own playlist. So you can create a playlist on TikTok and you can put which videos you want inside of that playlist. So people can click on the playlist and then just consume those videos in order, which is great for a series because let's say you had a series about 30 content tips in 30 days. That doesn't get lost all the way at the bottom of your feed after you've done that series 7 months ago. You can have it in a playlist, and a year from now, 2 years from now, people will see that playlist and be like, oh, let me see this. And they may consume your content, all 30 tips in one go, and be like, fuck, this guy's amazing. Now, the last one, which a lot of people kind of underestimate, is email. The reason I love email recently, right? Email is so good because you take them off the platform. You now own that audience. Sounds kind of kinky, but you own that audience, right? You've taken their contact email, their maybe even their number, depending on where you live, if it's common to take their number. But you now are no longer relying on the algorithm. You're just sending that shit through your email provider, email platform, software, whatever. Which means if you get banned on Instagram, or you get restricted for some time, or you get even banned or restricted on YouTube, I don't know, that's really rare to happen if you actually follow the guidelines. But let's say that happens, all your social media just disappears, but you have an email list of 10,000 people. You will still be able to make money. You will still be able to contact them. You will still be able to rebuild a brand new social media account by just letting them know what's happening, creating a whole story around it. And people will go and follow that new account. And people might even start sharing you around, right? If you never had that, you will literally be starting from scratch, hoping when you create a new account for that, like when you create a new account and start posting on it, you're hoping the algorithm is going to know, oh yeah, oh yeah, this guy, let's push him out to his followers that he had on his other account that we banned. Like shit just doesn't work like that. So if you want to be safe, take them off the platform. Plus, this is another way to nurture them. One thing I realized is you can send like daily emails or weekly emails or emails every other day, but you will pop up hopefully in their main inbox and not spam. But if worst case, you'll pop up in their promotions. But they will see your name on that email and be reminded of you. And that little trigger could be all it takes for someone to go, oh shit, there's Brian. Yeah, I need to check out his YouTube. Yeah, I need to watch that video. I added it to my save later. Oh, I see it in post. I should check out that video. Completely forgot about it. But if you didn't send an email, there's nothing to really trigger them to really think about you, remember you, and now you're literally dependent on the algorithm again to show your content to them just because they had a little interest in it or they've watched one of your videos or whatever it may be. Now, obviously, the best way to get their emails is by having a lead magnet. If you want a sole separate video on that, I will send that to you. But that's the whole problem with just growing on Instagram. If you're just growing on Instagram, you're cooked. And if you notice, look around at the biggest personal brands, they're omnipresent. They're everywhere. Emails, YouTube specifically, especially if you're selling anything online, YouTube is so good. I just can't tell you enough. They're on Instagram. Potentially they're also on TikTok. Shit, some people are even on Substack nowadays. But just look around you, look what they're doing, and I'm telling you, the Holy Trinity is the way forward. By the way, if you want to work with me one to one to grow your personal brand, grow your business, and build it in a way that can't be replicated, there's going to be a link in the description to work with me one to one. Yeah, that's the end of the video. I'll catch you in the next one.